Hello, everybody. It's great to be here. I want to thank Sean McGarvey, your president, and all of you for coming to Washington, D.C. This is a very important moment in transportation. Right now, as we speak, on April 20th, 2015, we are just weeks away from the current surface transportation extension running out. It's like Groundhog Day. Once again, we stand just days before the trust fund set to expire, facing the possibility of projects being pulled back from state to state, reducing job opportunities for many of your members, grinding America to a halt, challenging our ability as a country to compete. You know, I want to be the last Secretary of Transportation to give this speech. I want to be the last one to say that as a nation that has shown the entire world how to build infrastructure, how to create an end-to-end interstate highway system, how to build a transcontinental railroad, how to lift the veil of discovery and to actually point a way out for aviation and space. How can we find ourselves at this moment facing, in just weeks, the expiration of our surface transportation extension? Well, I believe the reason boils down to just a couple of things. Number one, our forebears did too good of a job. They gave us this incredible resource, which is our surface transportation system. They were built by the hands of your forebears, folks who woke up in the morning, went out, and did such an incredible job that they could have written their initials into the work that they did. Back in 1956, when the interstate highway system was started, there was discussion even then about the lifespan of the infrastructure they were building. And in some cases, bridges were expected to last 40 years or 50 years. In other cases, roads were going to need maintenance at some point in the future. And we built and built and built and built and built until today, when our maintenance needs are outstripping the amount of money we're putting into the trust fund. But it's even more complex than that. You see, we also have a bit of a Chicken Little problem. It's the problem of not seeing the future very clearly and believing that today is going to be the same day tomorrow and the next day. Well, our department has actually tried to lay bare what's happening to this country and where we're headed. And just imagine over the next 30 years, 70 million more people are going to be looking for a way to get around this country. And those long commutes that are long today will get longer in the future. Those projects that we're delaying today will become more expensive in the future. Those jobs that we could be creating right now, aren't being created because of federal funding uncertainty. And the last reason I would ascribe to our current state of affairs is that as a country, we're struggling to handle our business. Just to do the basic stuff that government is supposed to do, which is why you're here today. It's why you're talking about bridging the divide. It's really important that you're here because you have woken up in the morning and poured concrete or laid down steel. You can talk about what it means at a very personal level to have the federal government playing a role in the building of America's infrastructure. And based on my observations of our Congress, I can tell you that deep, deep down underneath all of the smoke and mirrors and all the other stuff you see and hear and read about, there actually are some people up here that want to get something done. But they need a nudge. And that's why you're here. We have put on the table as an administration a piece of legislation called Grow America. And it's really about trying to not only raise the amount of money we're investing in infrastructure at the federal level, it's about raising the sights this country has on what our infrastructure has done and can do for us in the future. It's a 6-year bill. Imagine us having a 6-year bill in this country to get our surface system moving again. It invests 29% more in our highway system, $317 billion over 6 years. $115 million over 6 years in transit, a 76% increase. We do things like create a national freight strategy that's funded with $18 billion over 6 years. And we bring rail into the same trust fund as our transit and our highway system. This kind of investment, just the scale of it, is estimated to increase job creation by 150,000 jobs a year. Now, look, are there other ideas out there? Sure. But lifting the sights of our investment in infrastructure is what we should be focusing on as a country. And I have to tell you, having been a mayor and having traveled around to more than 100 communities around this country, I can tell you, you know it. I look at potholes and I say, you know, I haven't seen a Democratic one. I haven't seen a Republican one. When your tire goes over a pothole, I don't care what party you're on, it happens the same way and it costs you the same amount of money. You and your skills and your hands can help this country fix what's broken. And that's why you're here. I want to say that we stand with you. We stand with you on the need to invest. We need your voice, not just on should we grow or shouldn't we, our investments, but really putting the screws to Congress and saying, you know, after 6 years of 32 short-term extensions, we've had about enough. Now is a time for a long-term surface transportation bill that will move America forward. And by the way, we can do a long-term surface transportation bill that will move America forward and keep Davis-Bacon intact. And we should. So I want you to know that I know how hard the industry was hit by the recession, how unemployment went up, how much folks are counting on Congress solving this issue, notwithstanding all of the good things that you're seeing happen across states around the country that are finding ways to invest more. The rug will get pulled out from under them if the federal government funding goes away. This is a critical time. You couldn't be here at a more important time for transportation, folks. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate you, how much our president appreciates you, and how much we're going to continue fighting to make sure that America is building for the future. Thank you very much. It's good to be with you.